International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUF for life. We are IUF.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Today on One. I'm Isai Sipunga. In the news tonight, Namibia Correctional Service and Commerce Regional Council Memorandum of Understanding bears fruit. The homeless in Tobias Hanyako say they cannot go back to renting. Okahanya residents seek land in Riverbed. 2021 National Cleanup Campaign launches in Faith-Rand Informal Settlement. Female tractor driver geared for success in agriculture. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. First up, the Namibia Correctional Service this week handed over 6 newly constructed classrooms to the Ministry of Education, which were each built at the cost of 400,000 Namibia dollars and part of 12 projects to be constructed by the facility. The project is part of a Memorandum of Understanding signed between the correctional facility and the Commerce Regional Council Directorate of Education to have classrooms, libraries and science laboratories built at selected schools in the Commerce region. Samantha Poppy has more.
Part of the 12 projects, the Mhagreev, Gamams and Bet-El primary schools have been successfully completed, with the Acacia Secondary School at 50% complete and other 9 projects yet to start.
The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture must be complimented for making great strides in achieving education for all. That is really what we want to do. And for the implementation of the national sector policy on inclusive education. Despite these efforts to ensure access to inclusive, equitable and quality education for all Namibian children, the country continues to be faced with a number of challenges. Inter alia, insufficient classrooms and schools to address the ever-increasing demand for space in schools. Despite these challenges, the ministry remains committed towards improved results by implementing and enforcing policies and interventions aimed at the attainment of academic excellence at all levels. Some people will think we have to concentrate at secondary level. But the foundation is laid in primary school. We in the ministry expect excellent results in primary school before learners graduate for secondary levels. I'm happy that the director called all our schools management to put everything in their power to assist our teachers and learners. Still in this time of COVID, to achieve the competences as we rationalize the curriculum.
The Director for Education at the occasion revealed that the learner population in the Commerce region has increased to 2,177 learners in the last 2 years.
So that is from 94,999 learners to 97,176 learners. So that is quite a big number. It's 2.3% growth yearly. What does it mean? So it also means that the number of schools grew from 131 in 2020 to 141 schools in 2021. So this is an indication of the ever-increasing demand in education or of education in the Commerce region. So with a meager budget that we get yearly, so you can just imagine how much we can construct against that number. So, and with that increase in 2.3%, it really indicates that we need more funding, and we are pleased, however, that the national or the Namibian Correctional Services coming on board as public entity to public entity, the cost is reasonable and we could construct more.
Receiving the additional classrooms, the principals at the school note that the facilities will move the schools into a new trajectory and enable quality education at the schools.
The agreement that we have clinched have really produced what we are about to witness today, and that is the construction of the classrooms for both schools, Gamams Primary School and MH Krief Primary School. I must amend the fact that this has culminated into a success story, and the story cannot end.
It is really an honor to see them doing even the simple things. One of the joy of being a teacher is to witness a child moving from excellence to excellence. Yes. And I should truly say, listening to how these classes came about, a lot of times people say that people on top don't know what is happening on the ground. That is true, but the truth is also sometimes people on the ground don't know what is happening on top. It took a lot of effort. It required wisdom. It required strategies for these two classes to be birthed here.
A total of 14 inmates, consisting of 9 from building construction, 2 from joinery, and 3 from metalwork, supervised by 6 officers, were involved in the project.
Enjoy these fantastic mid-month savings only at Clicks until 23 August. Buy Clicks Chip-Ply toilet paper 18 rolls, $89.99 per pack. Buy Pampers New Baby or Baby Dry Disposable Nappies Jumbo Pack, 2 for $219.99 per pack and 1 for $241.99. Or buy selected Nivea Lotion or Cream 400 mils, 2 for $82. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
More than ever before, football fans demand unique insight and analysis. The Football Review is much more than a highlights show. Bold, provocative editorial that goes beyond conventional reporting, setting the agenda for football discussion. Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga 1, and much more. Want genuine insight with hard-hitting editorial? Need compelling premium football content? The Football Review. Best, bar none.
Stay true to who you are and stay true to Namibia Sounds. Starting September 4th at 7 p.m., Valentine's and 99 FM bring you the True Music Sessions, a back-to-back playlist of our nation's finest artists, brought to you by the finest blended Scotch whiskey, Valentine's. Stay true. There's no wrong way.
BBC's Smart Money program presents an exciting new technology segment dubbed Smart Tech.
Ghana have a problem of unemployment, also the problem of housing and schools under trees. Now Plus wants to use the problem of plastic waste to solve the problem of schools under trees, housing, and create more jobs for the youth in the country.
Bonjour. Hello, I am Sao Duniang, director of the Palms Luxury Boutique Hotel in Dakar. I started by cleaning a toilet. Today, I am the manager of my own 5-star hotel boutique with 60 employees.
to give more people access to these life-saving vaccines. South Africa and India have proposed a waiver of COVID-19 patents, and the move seems to be gathering momentum after receiving the backing of the United States. But even if the patent waiver is indeed granted, can Africa manufacture these vaccines at scale?
The group of land grabbers in the Tobias Hanyeka constituency has moved to a soccer field close to where law enforcement demolished the shacks they have erected and warned them to avoid occupying the surface. They say although the police threatened to come back and hurt them and take their belongings, there is nothing they can do as they have nowhere to go. They threaten to take their lives and that of their children if the government does not intervene. This report from Hendrina Kanyolo.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
The group says they have nowhere to go and has been sleeping at the soccer field for the past week with their children and what's left of their belongings since their structures were broken down by the law enforcement.
On Monday, they come and told us to clean up their place and move. I think it was the day before yesterday that we moved here. They told us to come to the soccer field because there is their place. They have to build police officers' houses. And us, we are not important.
Yeah, Mara, please, they must only order for us even some place here so we can buy even the place, so they must put even the wire so where we can go and stay. With our kid like this, where we can go, we're going to. But the time for election comes, they must election us. Actually, election for them to be our leader, but now we are election for them, they must be our leader, but we don't have a place we're going to stay. We're going to Naroroka. We don't know where you can go. Please, they must only be accommodation for us, but we don't move, but we stay here. If they want to come and beat us with our kids, what they want to do, they must do, but there's no place us to go. There's no way we can go.
Some are pleading with the government to look into the situation and avail land or somewhere for them to stay, as they claim they have given up as they cannot afford to rent.
For us who are still here, it means we got no way to go. This is not like a joke or we are just entertaining public or the government. It's really, we don't have any way to go. Imagine you left the rent for 5 years, for 5 months, and you have been here. Do you think that person didn't put someone? They already occupy with someone, and for you to go back again, you have to go with money. So for right now where we are, some people have even lost job because of this. We are really in need of land. The government must come and think about this. They must not leave us like that. We are not here for entertainment. We're really in need of land. We are having small kids who are sleeping in the wind here. They are even getting sickness here. Sleeping in the empty where we are not even occupied with anything, even plastic, we are not allowed to put it there. And in the field here, there are boys who used to play soccer here. Anytime they can come and chase us, and we will be nowhere to go. As a fellow Namibians, it really, like we are just being treated like refugees.
On Monday, they bring Kama, transport is available. They can even help us to transport our things. Then we can go where we are coming from. But we are trying to tell them that as we don't know where to go because we are from the rent and we stay here for 5 months, almost 6 months, half of the year. Where we go, you left the rent long time. Now somebody to come and tell you go to the rent back. Which houses you can go and which houses you can go looking for. As we stay here, because you put us already in the street. Yeah, from other day, they came yesterday, they told us we must leave. If not, they help us, but these people, like the way you said, from there they told us they give us 15 minutes. If we are not moved, then they can come and harm us or shoot the gas or whatsoever, and we lost our properties again.
They further say that police officers should not be aggressive towards them and treat them like refugees, as they are not doing this out of their own will, but because they have nowhere else to go.
MacDonald Vihanga, a community leader at Okahanya, is unhappy when the town's municipality denied his desire to acquire land. The municipality's acting CEO, George Mwazi, issued Vihanga with a letter indicating that the area he's interested in is prone to stormwater difficulties and that Vihanga had previously built an unlawful structure near the main sewage line that passes through Noabe. Leston Vola has more.
In 2018, we applied for this piece of land to obviously do community work, community development, with initiatives, doing motivational speeches and so forth. During that time, there was some internal affairs within the council in the municipality, and which led to a suspension of that previous councillor. Currently, we have a new council who responded to a resubmission of the same request, and they basically declined. And we are not offended by the regret letter, no, but the way in which the decision was reached, it seems a little bit unjust.
Vihanga told Today on One that the Okahanja municipality did not even evaluate his request, and the response letter does not represent the situation on the ground, as according to him, the sewage lines are far from the area he was seeking for. He also stated that floods in Okahanja's riverbeds had never occurred.
If you look at the letter in detail, the letter talks about a problem with the specific area being close to a riverbed, meaning it is prone to stormwater. But now, if you look around, you will see that there are other houses that are officially municipal recognized, but they are in the river. This is even higher. And now these other houses are within the riverbed, and we're going to show you some pictures of those houses. But these houses are accepted, and this facility is not. So that is sort of a contradiction. And also another reason that was cited in the response letter was that a story of a sewage problem, that we cannot set up a temporary structure under or on top of a sewage pipe. If you look behind me, the sewage pipe is many meters away. So all these things do not make sense. And it all leads to the problem of not following through, not investigating, and not supervising our decision makers. Because as any municipality, any organization, you would have request forwarded to the relevant office. And my problem is that council did not follow up. It did not investigate whether the reasons cited for the decline were really as stated or were true in fact. And they just continued and signed on. And that is the problem, because what if the person has their own personal agenda, their own interest, based on the explanations that I gave? Perhaps they want their own family member to benefit from from this land sale, or whenever they will sell it to their friends. And that is the problem. We are saying we need a facility where we can do youth development, and council does not even look at that. They just respond with a decline letter stating all this nonsense. And we are saying we are not going to stand for that. We want a reconsideration to this, because it doesn't make sense. And how many other people have been affected by such processes where things are not followed up? Well, let's focus on facts. I've been a resident of Okahanja for the past 30 years. There's never been such floods out here. Besides, if it should happen, then that means it's not just going to be my own problem. It's going to be affecting everybody, because, like I said, there are houses that are even closer to the river. So that's a different situation. But council did not even consider that. They just decided that, no, you must evict before this date. And they are now trying to threaten me with the law, well, they manipulated it, and that is not the way. I mean, we are living in a democracy here. So that is unjust and uncalled for. This is our town, and we're going to fight for it. What we want is what we'll get.
Okahanja municipality has given Vihanga until the 12th of July 2021 to remove his illegal structure.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
We can't wait to be together again. But until then, let's stay safe.
God said, it's interesting to see if we have a look at John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In other words, what I see drives me to go out what I say. And I believe this is the goal of our Bible school, to teach me to see. And I dare to say what you see must change your heart. Because you cannot move out if you don't have a changed heart. By the word of God, everything is created. God wants you to speak the word so that things can be created. Say to your neighbor, created.
Stay connected during lockdown with unlimited internet from as little as 399 Namibian dollars per month. Get faster home internet at these amazing prices. Sign up now and get free installation plus double the speed, or enjoy double the speed if you're already signed up. Contact us at spectraadmin@mtc.com.na or call toll-free 90111. Get there with MTC Spectra Home. MTC, make the connection.
Akili, 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 Akili. We love to wash our hands, and this is how we do it. Wash, wash with clean water. Scrub, scrub, scrub with soap. Rinse, rinse with clean water, and then the germs will go. We love to wash our hands, and this is how we do it. Wash, wash with clean water. Scrub, scrub, scrub with soap. Rinse, rinse with clean water, and then the germs will go. Yay!
Well done, Soap and Water! You got rid of all the germs on Achilles' hands!
The 2021 National Cleanup Campaign was launched yesterday in the Faith-Rad Informal Settlement just outside Okahanja. The program, organized by the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, was attended by the Otjolonjupa Governor, Okahanja councillors and the Deputy Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism.
This is one of many cleanups that will happen frequently, says Okahanja Mayor Natasha Brinkman, as she rallied Faith-Rad community members, learners and some town council representatives to participate in the cleanup.
We want to clean our town. We want our environment to be clean. The main aim that we want to focus is we want Okahanja as the cleanest town and bring Okahanja back to its glory. The cleanliness of this campaign is, yes, not once off, but includes the introduction of ongoing community-based activities that are aimed at improving community cleanliness in sustainable manner. I believe that living in a clean environment will restore pride and dignity of the residents and the citizens of Namibia, and particularly Okahanja at large. I encourage all the residents of Okahanja to take the responsibility for their waste and not wait on appointment staff to clean up after them.
It takes good discipline to maintain proper hygiene, says Ocho-the-Njupa Governor James Yurikua. He says the litter along the roads, in and around settlements poses numerous hazards to the environment.
We are here today cleaning our town as usual. We believe it's not only a one-day cleaning, it should become a weekly or a monthly cleaning campaign because, you see, I compare hygiene with discipline. It's two things that goes hand in hand. Because if you are disciplined, you go far. Also with the hygiene environment, you remain healthy, you remain active, and so I believe we should continue cleaning.
You know, I've said it, I'll repeat saying it, to say that as a mother, even I know my father might be angry, my uncles might be angry, but it's always a mother who would always, press at the child and say, keep the house clean, keep the environment clean. So I thought as a mother, I should lead up this campaign for us to keep Namibia clean, to keep our places clean, to keep our parents' place clean. Everywhere where we go, we keep it clean for us also to protect our wild animals, to protect our livestock from eating peppers and everything. So this is one of the things that said, okay, let's have to revive the initiative of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Namibia.
I took part in this cleaning organization because I want to keep the environment clean for the future generation.
The reason I took part in this cleaning campaign is to just help the community because I am in the community and it's very important to keep it clean because the environment is very important to the people that live here and the animals as well.
The Ocho-the-Njupa authorities call on community members to adopt a hygiene-conscious attitude as it's the only way the country can go back to being one of the cleanest in Africa. In many patriarchal agrarian countries, a tractor is readily handled by a man for farming purposes. But Lucia Nekonga, 30 years of age, not only utilizes it for her business in the Ompira village, but she has also taken on the job of driving it there and back to her home. Joseph Ilonga has this story.
Lucia Nekongo says that her nursery called Onampira Green Scheme does not only sell flowers for decoration purposes, but also sells them to people who want to start their own gardens at home. Nekongo also stated that she began her business in June of last year and has since expanded her range of plants to include veggies.
Lucia Nekongo, ngai mwene valeleo kepoko kombalanu. Mopai me shat poping nondiri ponamira. Pokati koshaka chino shikuku. Haturongo ni imeno ngashio nzile, no decoration no yokulya, no ni vegetable like your spinach, matama, beetroot, keshe no nendunga, ni moinjire. Ngai mwene ndatameka 2020. Mujuni shasho tatameka ngatuli yali kweto ndada tameka nalende nandi njoinane turonge pamwe paimenyu tatameka nganu meno ushonike elagano ponga tuhupe kwali ngata wende taushongola na shitakatala aye business yako meshorera taende taikunu komesho si watu weda poni ini mai vegetable ngasho matama ne nyanga ne spinach ne miko Paimengino tuni meno elo injio decoration ngasho tunamo shade tree ngasho evergreen o uduranda decoration ini mainjela decoration tunamo no mitido mizirena keshimo tuna kujoara sho menire kubonengo bonje keshimo tuna mapaimengi.
She went on to say that since the emergence of COVID-19, business activities have been disrupted and customers have been difficult to come by. She does, however, plan to recover her lost revenue in August, which is a popular month for weddings in Namibia. According to the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, also known as UN Women, agriculture plays a key role in promoting women's economic empowerment and managing the impacts of climate change.
We are molded with the utmost intricacy, unique and ever-evolving. But we will always need a guiding hand.
New Nivea Black and White Deo protects me and my favorite outfit. That's why I feel confident and free. With 5 times Deo Action formula, I stay fresh and protected for 48 hours, and my clothes stay stain-free. Try SA's #1 anti-stain Deo.
In other leading stories, the Southern African Science Service Centre for Climate Change and Adaptive Land Management, SASCAL, marks a significant milestone in the green hydrogen developments in Southern Africa. This comes amid a global movement to transform the global energy sector into one which contributes to climate-friendly products. SASCAL successfully hosted a 4-day virtual green hydrogen regional data validation workshop to provide an opportunity for the 16-member Southern Africa Regional Technical Committee, comprising of groups of experts, to assess, review and validate the bulk of the data collected at national level. Participating countries are Angola, Botswana, Eswatini, Democratic Republic of Congo, Malawi, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia and Zimbabwe. In his opening remarks, the German ambassador to Namibia, His Excellency Herbert Beck, highlighted that Germany's national hydrogen strategy includes a hydrogen partnership with Africa to import green hydrogen to Germany. He further emphasized that the German government is focused on supporting economic development in partner countries by supporting the build-up of a hydrogen industry while reducing dependence on fossil fuels. Executive Director in the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Mr. Percy Musika, stated that Southern Africa in general and Namibia in particular find themselves in the locality of most vulnerable to the effects of climate change. As a result, the topics of going green, decarbonization and climate change resilience come to the forefront whenever considering developmental aspirations, programs and projects. SASCAL Executive Director Dr. Jane Olwach acknowledged all the participants and their contributions, further emphasizing SASCAL's commitment to work together with relevant institutions in Southern Africa in order to contribute to the transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy while supporting sustainable development aspirations of SADC member countries.
Member? With HospiCash 100, you can get up to 100,000 Namibian dollars cover with a 30,000 limit per event from as little as 100 Namibian dollars a month. We understand that being in hospital can be stressful. That is why with HospiCash 100, you can cover your non-medical expenses by receiving cash payouts when you are in hospital, so you can recover stress-free. Interested? SMS your name and HospiCash to 555 and we will call you back.
Joseph Shifeni is standing by for today's edition of Business on One and Economic Indicators.
Welcome to Business on One. I'm your host, Joseph Shifeni. The central bank's initial growth projection for the economy of above 2% for this year has now been revised. The Bank of Namibia says that they never expected the Delta variant, which for the past few months led to lockdowns, to further cripple the economy that has been on a growth trajectory. Earlier this year, the Bank of Namibia predicted that the economy would grow by 2.7% in 2021. However, at this week's monetary policy announcement, the bank backtracked on that prediction. It now puts the economic growth figure at just 1.4%.
We didn't foresee the Delta coming through. We didn't see the extent of the lockdowns. We didn't have that crystal ball. Maybe you had. If you just look at the numbers from tourism and that came out, you saw that between September last year and March this year, we have received something like 62,000 tourist arrivals, mostly international and regional tourists. And that was about a 91% decline in tourist arrivals. And most of the declines were seen at border post. So that's a big impact on an industry like tourism. But the best economic policy now for most of the countries, including Namibia, is health policy. The extent and the speed of our economic recovery depends on access to the COVID vaccines and a successful rollout of the vaccines.
The Director for Research and Financial Stability, Florette Nakusera, defended the bank's revision, noting that the fall in diamond sales and production was taken into account. They remain optimistic for 2022, projecting a 3.4% growth of the economy.
If you look at some of the projections that came out, we did some consensus forecasting as well, and it seems like we are more on the conservative side. And we have put in some measures in terms of risk that we are foreseeing, which could still impact this growth that we are projecting right now. And that's why Governor was earlier referring on the vaccinations, so that no more further lockdowns should then, in the true sense, should be implemented, so that it can help the growth going forward. So in terms of 3.4% of next year, that is probably where we are, but more optimistic. But the 3.4%, we are foreseeing that for 2022, vaccination rollouts would be successful, and the variants, yes, the risk is there, but the economy would open up much more. But the base effects from where everything is coming from 2020, is what have impacted on growth for 2021 and for 2022. 2020 was a year in which virtually everything, almost for most part of the year, was closed.
Namibia's economy fell into a recession in 2016 after recording a 5% growth the previous year. The economy has since struggled to recover despite stringent measures implemented by the government to get the economy back on a growth trajectory. Thank you for watching, and do join me again next week. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
The time to unite against COVID-19 is now. Daily statistics have turned into names. Names of people we know, our parents, siblings, grandparents, cousins, neighbors, and fellow countrymen. Help stop COVID-19 in Namibia by getting yourself vaccinated. Vaccines help your body learn how to fight the virus well before an infection. This greatly increases your chances of not falling seriously ill when infected with COVID-19. So, get vaccinated, help kick COVID-19 out of Namibia. Please note, maximum protection from the vaccine is reached 2 to 3 weeks after full vaccination. Hence, the importance to get your second dose. Brought to you by the Nationhood and National Pride Program in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Social Services.
Stay true to who you are and stay true to Namibia Sounds. Starting September 4th at 7 p.m., Valentine's and 99 FM bring you the True Music Sessions, a back-to-back playlist of our nation's finest artists brought to you by the finest blended Scotch whiskey, Valentine's. Stay true. There's no wrong way.
And shebeen owners in the north have allegedly alerted the chairperson of the Oshino Formal and Informal Business Association about their intention to stage a protest against the current COVID-19 measures for shebeens, which is financially impacting the sector. The chairperson, Fanuel Haidua, says he has urged the members of the association to desist from initiating such mass action. Jose noted that it seems like the new fashion in the country is protests, from land to alcohol sales. Elvis says it's not fair at all. While Ellie noted that this treatment is inhumane, asking whether our leaders can afford to have their salaries cut in half for more than a year. And that's all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day, only on Today on 1.
This is my favorite gear, cause it speaks for me and all my brothers. Nivea Men Black and White Deo. With 5 times Deo action to protect you and your favorite gear from stains. Try Nivea's #1 anti-stain deodorant. Nivea Men, it starts with you.
Time now for today's sports update with Castro Olumbo.
Welcome and thank you for joining me, Castro Ulumbu, for this evening's edition of Sports on One. The Playtime Trust Namibia, based in Walvis Bay, is a program which offers multidisciplinary sports training programs in soccer, cricket and athletics for the youth at the coast, particularly from disadvantaged areas. Recently added to the program is teaching preschool teachers to keep fit. Today on One Sports has more on this story.
I feel very good. It's very healthy to exercise and to get practice every day with the kids. It's very important for your muscles also. It's very good.
So we were here at the training. It's enjoyable, just like kids. We are playing, we're having fun. So it was good. We really enjoyed. We were just praying, exercising. Yeah, like how to play with kids, to train them. Yeah.
Playtime Namibia started to train preschoolers at the town in multi-sports a year ago. This year, it has decided to involve teachers as they need to stay fit when handling their learners. The teachers involved are required to gather at KSF Moon's old tennis court every Saturday, which has now been turned into a sports hub.
We decided to include the teachers to get involved also in this program, as they are already involving with the kids, which is a nice thing, because teachers are the guardians, while the parents are not with the kids. When they send the kids to the schools, that's a responsibility of the teachers at schools. And now we as Playtime had decided, let's bring the teachers to get involved also in our program, as we are working with the small kids. And then they have to learn what we are doing here at Playtime, and then they have to also help us here at the hub. We call it this as a hub, but it is a playground for the small ones, so that they can also get involved. As they are learning, they have also to do and work with the kids at Playtime Hub. The moment they are getting involved, it's the moment they also exercising to be active on what we are doing. So that's why we get them involved, so that they can come, and partly they can also do their exercises. And you know, it's not that easy for teachers. Some of them, they did not practice for long, and now to get involved here, then they feel, okay, let me also get involved and get, at least body-wise, let me feel that, let me practice with the small ones. And you know, the involvement is for the teachers, I think it's the more important thing.
The exercises offered by Playtime Namibia includes aerobics, soccer, athletics, and children fun sports. The teachers and their children are also joined by a group of volunteer professional coaches who offer the training with the aim of giving back to the community. And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again next week for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thanks, Castro, for that update. Time now for the weather forecast.
A look at the weather forecast. Cold weather will prevail in the south this weekend. The Namibia interior partly cloudy and cold to mild in the south, but sunny and cold to mild over the Commerce region, elsewhere sunny and warm to hot. The coast partly cloudy and cold to mild with a few showers in the extreme south. The wind light to moderate southwesterly. Now we look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
We have come to the end of tonight's edition of Today on One. Catch a repeat at 9:30 this evening and the Omnibus Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. From me, Isai Sipunga, and the rest of the team, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Dear members and stakeholders, the fund is doing relatively well despite the pandemic since last year. As at the end of June, the fund has reached a total value of 138 billion Namibian dollars, and that is a relatively good growth. However, we have liabilities to deal with. During the past 3 months especially, we have seen an increase in death claims that is more than usual, and that is attributed to the deaths that are occurring as a consequence of COVID. We are happy to say that we have been able to serve all our members despite the lockdown restrictions, and also that we have been able to give service remotely. Since the lockdown started, we have been able to work from home successfully, and our technologies have been tested to the limit. We are also very happy to say that we would like to encourage all our members to avoid visiting the offices unless absolutely necessary. And that is really to avoid overcrowding at the offices and risk being infected. We have suspended the usual verification that is done, the fingerprint verification, because by touching a surface, one runs the risk of getting infected as well. And we also know that our pensioners especially, you are at the age that is at serious risk, and therefore we encourage you to remain at home, and we will try by all means to serve you through the telephone call and call centers or email or whatever remote contact that you can make. I would like to encourage our members to adhere to the protocols that have been established by the Ministry of Health and all health professionals regarding avoiding the contact with people, and also to sanitize, keep distance, and wash hands. But perhaps the most important thing is to vaccinate. Vaccination is there to boost your immunity to a level where your body can fight any virus that enters your body, especially the COVID-19 virus. Personally, me and my family, we have all vaccinated. I encourage my father to also get vaccinated, and he did so, and he got both shots, and nothing really happened to him. Now he's much more at ease and comfortable where he is because he is protected. We are going to continue with our services, including member education. And in this regard, we have started with a campaign in all media platforms, on radio, newspapers, social media. We'll be doing our member education to see the information that members need in order to be able to claim successfully for their benefits. And as usual, I would like to encourage especially our active members to continue updating their personal files, especially the nomination form. It is critical that your nomination form is updated annually so that in event something happens, we do not run around looking for your dependents, but would easily be guided by your nomination form. That makes matters much more easier. And finally, dear members, we remain highly committed to serve you. If there is anything that you need that we are not doing right, please also communicate to us to the addresses that either through our regional offices or head office, and our address is even in the telephone directory. All this, we thank you very much, dear members.
song goes.
Benjamin Rosloff expresses himself with music, but when he's not playing the cello, he's making films.
My father bought me my first camera when I was 14 years old. My biggest dream is to be a filmmaker, like a producer or a director.
Benjamin has already shown his films at festivals around the world.
The first film that I did, which was a documentary short, was called Can I Call You? It's about me trying to go in a relationship with someone who's non-disabled. Can I call you?
Yes. Ben is indeed a remarkable young man who has been living with autism from birth. He's a 23-year-old living in New York with his parents. Ben is not alone. 1% of the world's population, over 70 million people, is living with autism.
Some would refuse to let autistic people go to regular schools, and parents fight about that. That's why it's important to see videos about their lives. Even though they're disabled, there's things that they can do.
Benjamin has just landed a job as an intern at New York City's mayor's office for people with disabilities. Ben and his supervisor, Jonathan Novick, produce films to highlight people with disabilities who work for the municipality.
Ben's a lot of things. Ben is positive. Ben is friendly. He brings this very high level of energy and enthusiasm into his work.
I work here as cameraman and editor. I travel with Jonathan Novick, and together we meet people with different disabilities, and I do the recording on camera while Jonathan Novick does the interview.
Randy Washington, who's working with Ben, helps keep him focused and on track. Watching films is one of Ben's favorite things in life, and Randy is really impressed with Ben's encyclopedic knowledge.
It's amazing the stuff he remembers from the movies, and he's hardworking. When given a task, wants to complete that task. I guess it would be he's a perfectionist.
Recently, Ben contacted the United Nations and was invited to visit the organization. Today, he's going to interview the Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon. Ben could have never imagined that one day he would have the opportunity to discuss with the UN Secretary General the pressing issues that affect billions of people worldwide.
Last December in Paris, the world leaders came and showed their commitment to keep global temperature rise below 2 degrees, if possible 1.5 degrees. Under this agreement, we can cut emissions.
Among the questions Ben asked, one was very close to his heart.
Why is autism an issue for the United Nations?
Some societies discriminate on or shun people with autism. This is a terrible violation of human rights. The United Nations stands with all people with autism.
Benjamin's resolve to work and produce films is an example to the millions of people with disabilities worldwide. He knows that anything is possible when you dream, and if you work hard, your dreams can come true. This report was produced by Michael